Incredible atmosphere. That's a glimpse to us of what it's going to look like here when we get those kind of atmospheres. And we showed glimpses of what kind of team we can be, but we didn't show enough. And we had our opportunities. We took advantage of some. And at the end, and we missed some shots that not going to put it on the offense. And the sense of we missed some open shots that we were making in the first half. But we've got to learn how to finish a team off. We got to learn how to execute better. We've certainly got to learn how to listen better out of timeouts, which has been an ongoing problem for us the entire year. It's got to get better. And we got to find a way to close. And that was a very good team, a team that's very deserving of their ranking. Bobby's an outstanding coach. There's no question about that. And they're a deep team. They're a physical team. And they did a great job closing us off at the end. And we had our opportunities, and we just couldn't do it. So, go ahead.
So when you talk about listening better out of timeouts, what did you want to happen on the inbounds pass there?
Not what happened. I wanted the ball past to Tyree and get a screen in the middle of the floor. And I've got to do a better job. I've got to do a better job of making sure that I have more and more people prepared for those type of situations. And it's just a simple inbounds pass. But we got to do a better job of listening. We got to do a better job of reminding, coming out, and just throw it in, and we get the screen in the middle of the floor. And the play before that, we had 2 timeouts, all right? And you can't make the inbounds pass because it breaks on the side out of bounds, call timeout. And but we're botching too many plays. A little bit of it is you just got to stay, I don't want to say calm. There's no way you're going to stay calm. But you got to stay poised under that level of pressure, right? You can't take off and leave. I mean, you get into those type of situations, they're set plays for a reason. And we rehearse them a lot, right? We rehearse them a lot. We don't rehearse them against a team that's got the length that Arizona State has, but in both of those situations at the end of the game, there wasn't enough pressure to stop us from doing what we wanted to do. We stopped ourselves. And we got to learn to be better there, all right? And I've got to do a better job. So that's the bottom line with all those situations.
Coach, we talked briefly about turnovers this weekend. You guys get up 18 in the first half and did a terrific job and controlled the
I'm
ball
sorry,
pretty
we had
well.
what in the first half? What did we have?
18-point lead.
Oh,
in the
okay, I'm
first
sorry,
half.
turnovers, yeah.
And then turnovers just sort of came out of nowhere all of a sudden. You were talking about a lot of them unforced. Where do you think that's coming from?
Well, this is truly, and I'm not going to come in here and just say, hey, I got to go study the film all the time. That's when I got to look at it a little bit because we missed some shots that we were making. Some guys just weren't open, right? And we're trying to, at the end of the game, there's something that we want to do. Here's how we want to execute it. Now then there's the freedom inside of it once it's in. But a couple times out of timeout, we tried to force passes that weren't there. One that stands out is the pass Torian tried to make to Nick coming out of the timeout. He wasn't even close to free, right? But again, our point guard in the game at the time didn't run the play the right way. I mean, we've just got to do. We've got to get better at execution, and that's all part of the turnover game. Sometimes it's on the break, sometimes it's at the clock, sometimes it's early on in it. There's no rhyme or reason, but live ball turnovers kill you. And one problem that we've had is we are not strong enough with the ball. It's one thing to not be imposing physically, right? But we can't be weak with the basketball. We've got to get stronger with the ball. And we've got to have that carry over into games because it's not like this is the first time we figured out we're not very strong with it. And we work on it constantly. But we've got to get that carryover to come into the games. That's why we have our bigs handling the ball as much as they do.
Coach, how, I guess, can you take the positives from a night like tonight where, you've got the number 20 team in the country down, in the closing seconds of the game, and then on the flip side of that, how, I guess, does it get frustrating at a point when your team, puts up 47 points in the first half and then only 27 in the second half? Well,
I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm going to just keep coaching and tell them what I think and what we've got to do. Did we do some good things? Absolutely. I mean, there's no question that we did. The crowd was absolutely phenomenal and loud and into it. And one part I said, man, this is fun, right? I mean, it's a festive crowd. It's hot in here. The music's blaring, the band's playing. I mean, this is good. Just relax and play. But we've got to learn. We've got to learn, and it's going to be part of the growth process. What we've got to learn is how to put somebody away, right? And that's what we've got to have, right? We've got to learn to, but you got to make your free throws, okay? You've got to execute. 3 stops in a row, 3 scores in a row. Those things are huge, and they're no bigger time than at end of games. And so we'll study the film. We'll do our best to bring them out in practice. And much like we're going to see in the SEC, we're not replicating that length, and we're certainly not replicating the physicality of a Dort and guys like that in the backcourt. You know, Lawrence, Remy Martin played a phenomenal game. He's not an overly physically imposing guy. He's very quick. We couldn't keep him in front of us. But those other guys, those are big, strong guys, and we're going to see a lot of that this year. So we've got to figure out how we're going to overcome that inside of our team. So I'm not frustrated, and I'm not discouraged, disappointed without a doubt. But get right back up there, study the film, and know that we're turning around against a team that's got a 25-point-a-game inside score on Tuesday night, who can shoot threes at 50% or better, and a bunch of other three-point shooters around them. And so we're not going to have much time to sit there and wallow in what we didn't do. We've got to get up and make sure that our one-on-one defense is good, make sure that we're not overhelping, make sure we're not leaving shooters. Now, I don't